cars. up the rally stream, the faster we go.
So aerobatic display over the arena 1 of 2 today.
They're not here at the moment, actually, it's not ours. They're just gone.
Interesting. We've had another first at Welland this year. The first baby born on site.
Really?
Yes, last night. Mother and baby are doing well. They popped them in hospital just to have them checked over, but I think that's got to be a first for Welland in its 50th year. So
Fantastic.
There we are. Anyway, the parade is underway, and as always, it's led by the oldest truck we have here. They're not coming in order. I think they do this deliberately to see if they can muddle me up, which they're very successful at doing actually, but we've got this little Daimler leading the parade, built in 1915, and of course originally it would have been on solid tyres, it wouldn't have been on pneumatics. and was undoubtedly built as a result of the orders that were placed for the Great War, the war that was going to end all wars, and how futile that proved to be. But enough of that. Say a little Daimler. Daimlers are always easy to spot. They have the classic Daimler style radiator, which all the Daimlers old and new have. So I believe this wagon actually attended the first Welland rally way back 50 years ago. So lovely to see it here in cracking working order with Watson Lindley. So there we are.
1915, 100 years old next year for the next rally.
We hope it's back next year for its 100th birthday. Something quite a lot more modern now coming up, carrying a little Fergie FE35 on the back, a Commer Superpoise. Now Commer is a name that's disappeared off our map, another one of the great British marks. That one beautifully restored. I don't think it would have had paintwork like that when it was new, but that's no reason to not paint it properly. Super vehicle. Of course, in those days when size wasn't so critical, quite a lot of the vehicles had bonnets, and the engine would be under the bonnet like a car. The vehicle, which makes it a lot handier when you're manoeuvring. You'll notice, all of you will have seen pictures of the classic American trucks with about 8 foot of bonnet, and then the cone. When I was quite a small lad, very economical transport, of course, 3-wheel, very manoeuvrable. Probably the ride and comfort left of it to be desired.
Forerunner to the Reliant Robins that we saw later on in life?
Oh, surely, yes. Yes, indeed, Rich. Yes. Steve, as ever, at the controls. Good morning. This was new, I think, to Camel Laird's and used for internal moves in the shipyard. But that'll shove 250 tons in its day. The ergomatic cab was seen on a lot of the Leyland, Albion and Scammell products of the day. The later ones actually tilted, making access to the underfloor engine a little bit easier. So very nicely restored Super Comet.
And our first of our coaches, the Foden from 1948.
This one is particularly interesting. First of all, you've got the half cab, which was the classic style of those days. But this one, built by Foden's, and it's fitted with the quite revolutionary Foden 2-stroke engine. Only 4.5 litres, but kicking out well onto 200 horsepower. And if he opens it up a little bit in a moment, you'll hear that very characteristic howl of the Foden 2-stroke. World of vehicles as we know it. Now this one has got twin headlights, and that tells me it's probably a 2-stroke. Commers were the other people besides Foden's who used 2-stroke engines. The TS3, which I was quite a fan of and drove when I was a young man for a little bit. Again with a very characteristic howl, but they were very economical, very powerful in their day. That would have been 135 horsepower, the maxi load, which was a flyer at the time. So maybe he'll just give us a little burst when he gets along. Yeah, I can hear it rumbling away there. Great fun when they decoaked themselves, because they used to blow the soot and ash straight across the road, which used to frighten people to death in the dark. TS3 engine stands for Tilling Stevens. The engines were built in the old Tilling Stevens factory. Now then, we've got what I would call in Shropshire a man's wagon coming now. Foden 8-wheeler. Now if you fancy collecting a wagon, I noticed there was a for sale sign in the windscreen of this one this morning. But absolute classic British 8-wheeler there. Gardner engine, probably a David Brown gearbox. Those Fodens of that sort of era were indestructible, really. I mean, the loads they were made to carry. We didn't have quite so many enthusiastic gentlemen from Bosa around in the days when these were working, and they were often severely overloaded, but they just carried on.
8 wheels, of course, something that was not unique to the UK,
which was the combination that was used by a lot of the manufacturers. They used to buy these components in and assemble their own trucks. Something a bit earlier, a pre-war AEC, Mammoth Major. Again, this was the era when life wasn't so comfortable in the trucks. If you were out in that in December, you'd have bike clips on to stop the drafts going up your trouser legs. You see it's got a substantial towing jaw on the back, so it probably worked with a trailer as well. Lovely little BMC commercial. I didn't spot whether it was Austin or Morris actually. Morris, yeah. It's got what was often called the threepenny bit cab. Now, the older folk will have to explain to the kids what a threepenny bit is.
Bit like a 20 pence piece, but sharper.
Yeah. Because when you shut the doors, it's got the shape of a threepenny bit. This is a bit unusual. We've got a Dodge here now, fitted with a Perkins engine. You can see that badge on the front with the trucks in queue in London. And they were very good working trucks indeed. A Ford 1000 weight pickup.
The antithesis of it, the opposite is couldn't be further from beautiful colour scheme.
Yeah,
Really lovely vehicle.
Well, the American forces weren't fond of making it comfortable for the driver. Look at the campers. As I said yesterday, this could have gone across North Africa with Montgomery for all we know, or up through Italy. Could have paddled in the water on the Normandy landings, because that was the standard army heavy gun tractor. Four-wheel drive, fitted with a winch. When they were retired from the army, when they were demobbed, a lot of them went into recovery work like that one with a crane, and they were of course much loved by the timber industry, where they were regarded as being virtually unbreakable. We've got a lovely little half-size here of a Scammell show track. Now, when steam was on its way out, Scammell started building show tracks to replace the engines, and given time. But just think about it, a 28 horsepower petrol engine was the standard engine in that. Now, most of us have got a car these days. If it isn't 100 horsepower, it's not worth going out in. A lot of them were re-engined later on with the Perkins P6, which took them up to about double the horsepower. Very nice Dennis, very early Dennis coming through now.
1927 on this particular model.
Yep. Again, you can see, of course, were a Scottish company built in Glasgow. Later became part of the Leyland group, Leyland, Albion, Scammell, but certainly the Scotsmen were very, very loyal to their Albion trucks, and very durable they were indeed, put up with a lot of hard work. First of our Bedford TKs. I'm sure we'll see some more of those as the morning goes on.
They were pretty much ubiquitous. You'd see a lot of these on the roads, wouldn't you?
You would indeed. I mean, it was probably the world's favourite delivery truck in its heyday. That one actually was built and still is a tractor unit, but is now used as a ballast tractor. But it would have had a fifth wheel or whatever to pull the trailer. Another little Bedford coming along now. See the classic Atkinson fiberglass cab there behind the little bonnet. Lovely old Foden here. When it was demobbed, it went to B&J Davis at Bucknell, and in fact it's finished up back virtually in the same part of the world with Les Morgan, who they were, as a family, all connected with B&J Davis in years gone by. It's the timber jib on the back was built by Davis's, and then the whole thing disappeared, and it was found in a scrapyard up in Scotland, I think. And all the bits came back down and it was rebuilt. You see it now in the form in which Davis has used it. Another nice ERF. Steve Morgan coming along with say a classic ERF of its era. Again with the guard. Something a bit different, an international.
Yeah.
With what the Americans call the stake truck body, that open boarded body. This one undoubtedly came over for sale here because you can see it's right-hand drive. There are a number of them over here which are left-hand drive and probably came over later in life. An early Atkinson now, before the fiberglass Atkinson cab. Very nice old vehicle, full of character, with sporting a Gardner 150 badge, so I would think it's Probably didn't start out with life with a 150, but lovely big classic. I've seen Atkinsons with small loads, but I think that should be well up to the job. The absolute classic Atkinson there, the iconic borderer. As I said yesterday, many haulage companies made their fortune buying those indestructible tractor units.
That one fitted with the 220 Cummins, by the things,
yeah, it's getting a bit modern now, aren't we? Yeah. And the Venturer, the heavy haulage tractor. Now this one would have been ex-John Antle, I fancy, wouldn't it? 240 Gardner, the 8-cylinder plate. Yes, it is ex-Antle's record. It says so on the side. Well, there were times when that truck moved 150 tons. That I can tell you for certain. It was fairly pedestrian, the progress, but it always got there. So he could tell a lot of stories, but a genuine heavy haulage tractor.
The 8L
Been expected to carry considerably more than that with a body that big, I'm sure.
particularly if it was working for the local builder.
Yes. Keep a sound so that he would come round and you'd order 300 weight of coal and it would come out of the bulk hopper into the bags, be weighed and delivered to your bin. Now, just listen to this coming round now. We've got a phone. Hopefully you'll get down a gear or two and make it howl for us. Oh yeah, and we're going to have the tipper up as well.
Yeah, we've got the first of two Foden 8-wheelers from the splendid John Pearson fleet at Coventry. Both of these, that's the tipper, which is demonstrating the tipping gear. And this one is fitted with the S20 cab, possibly one of the most stylish and attractive post-war lorry cabs that any British manufacturer produced. But listen to the wonderful howl of that Foden two-stroke engine.
And that's probably got the Foden gearbox with the two gear sticks.
It's very likely
Or is it air shift?
It'll be the 12-speed with the air shift on under the steering wheel on the panel.
Oh yes, there it is. Yeah.
The team spend a great deal of time and effort restoring this wagon from a very derelict state. And the paint that you put just into the ribbing of the Neville-built body alone almost defined the link. Fabulous position.
ERF there, fitted with a very interesting Rolls-Royce generating set on the back. Would have started life as a tractor unit and obviously now in fairground service. And we're back to Scotland, Scotstoun, the Albion. A later interesting cab that. It looks as though, is that fiberglass? Or is it beautifully shaped aluminium panelling around the front?
I guess that's aluminium on ash.
Yeah, I wasn't looking till it had almost gone past. But an unusual cab, obviously a local coach builder was involved with that. A lot of these wagons, when they were built, would quite often have different types of cabs built by different manufacturers. Certainly up before the war that was very common. Now I used to drive one of these on a regular basis down to Port Talbot to the steelworks when it was virtually new, so I'm getting a bit aged now looking at that, but the Volvo, the F10, these were simple advanced tilt cabs. They had heaters that worked, you could listen to the radio, drive in your shirt sleeves in winter even.
And that's followed by a lovely little Morris commercial, beautifully turned out, typewritten to A.T. Bird, Andrew Bird, our local roofing contractor, who likes to do the thing very much in style.
I once had a true love, but now I have none. And since she has left me, I cry all alone. Oh, since she has left me, contented I'll be, for she loves another far better than me. So green grows the laurel and soft falls the dew, and sorrow is my love when parting from you. But at our next meeting our joys we'll renew. We'll love one another and vow to be true. I wrote my love a letter in red rosy lines, and she sent me back another all entangled and twined, saying you keep your love letters and I will keep mine. You write to your true love and I'll write to mine. So green grows the laurel and soft falls the dew, and sorrow is mine, love, when parting from you. But at our next meeting our joys we'll renew, love one another and vow to be true. I have passed my love's window both early and late, and the looks that she gave me would make my heart break. Oh, the looks that she gave me 10,000 would kill. Though she hates and detests me, I love her still. Sometimes in sweet slumber I dream that I see my young darling true love come smiling to me. But when I awaken I find it not so. My eyes are like fountains where the waters do flow. So green grows the laurel and soft falls the dew, and sorrow is mine, love, when parting from you. But at our next meeting our joys we'll renew, love one another and vow to be true.